Has your life ever been falling all the way apart? Your car breaks down, you ain't got no money left, there's no food at home, rent's due, you don't know how you're gonna pay it, your shit's fucked up, your roof is falling in, everything's fucked up. That's what my life feels like all the time. Have you ever asked yourself, what would it be like if I knew how to handle this the right way? Because we all know these issues come out in all sorts of different ways, in all sorts of different manners. And then to add on top of it, people start complaining about stupid shit. Your girl's like, you left the water bottle on the table. Somebody's like, you didn't put the trash bag back in the right way. And then somebody else is like, you forgot my fries. And you're like, me personally, I'm like, these people trying to kill me. I'm out of money. I got sales to make. I got customers upset. I got these people upset. People want to kill me hypothetically, not real life. Video games, not real life. I've been up for 3 days. I don't even know where I am. I'm exhausted. I'm delusional. I haven't slept. I don't know what's going on. And people are complaining about water bottles and that you didn't send them the right emoji or that you didn't put the trash bag back in the trash the right way. And that's been my life permanently. So I've been quite experienced at dealing with these situations, which leads a lot of people to feel like I don't have emotions. And in a lot of ways, in those situations, I don't. And I'm not speaking about just me, but I'm trying to extrapolate this out to everyone. So if I'm speaking about, me speaking about myself is so that you can reflect on it in your own life, not about me just talking about myself. But I've become quite experienced at dealing with this life circumstance. I've actually even consciously experimented with different ways to respond to these situations. Because the standard feeling you would feel, most men would feel, when your life is falling apart and people start complaining about forgetting their fries or not getting them the right drink at Starbucks or whatever's going on, is anger. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers trying to kill me and you're complaining about fucking oat milk. Get the fuck over it. But if you say that, you're just an asshole. Another route you can kind of take is to laugh it off and just laugh at them. Like, okay, like, you're worried about oat milk, the ops outside. They owe me money. I ain't got no car. I don't know what's going on. And you can, like, laugh it off. But the response you'll get for laughing it off is that you're dismissive and that you don't care about anyone else's problems, and people will be more upset. They'll complain even more about it. You don't care about me. You're selfish. Nigga, I'm hungry. But that is what happens when you deal with it that way. So we've covered when you approach it with anger, which is the default that at least I feel. Then we laugh at it. But another side of if you laugh at it too is people start to think you're a bit sociopathic. But it's another mechanism to handle the situation rather than anger. I hate to April Fools you, but there is no answer. You choose how you deal with it, and people are going to feel how they feel about it. If you get angry about it, they're going to think you're aggressive and you're a dickhead and that you're crashing out. If you laugh, you're dismissive and you don't care about their feelings. If you ignore it, people hate to be ignored. Ignoring is one way to get people even more mad. And then, here's the third one. If you lower your frequency to meet them where they're at and actually give genuine consideration to their stupid ass issue, you're lowering your ability to deal with your issues that are way more important. Imagine you're about to be in a shootout with someone, or you're in a shootout, or you're in a fist fight, or you're in a knife battle, or whatever the heck is going on. Don't be in these situations, by the way. But you're in one of these life-threatening situations. Imagine your girl's with you, and you're like, go! And she's like, I don't like the way you talk to me. And then you lower your tone and you're like, can you please go over there so that I can handle this? You're fucking dead. You're dead. Even if you can get back on track, your adrenaline and your fight response is not going to be there to deal with the fucking ops, to deal with this business negotiation, to get your car rent paid. You're not going to make it if you lower your frequency to to meet people where they're at in their stupid issues. So we have three issues. We have the anger issue, we have the dismissive, laugh it off issue, and then we have the meet them where they're at issue. And so what is the answer? There is no fucking answer. You choose how you want to deal with it, and you let people feel how they feel. That's where I'm at in my life. I can't preach to you and give you, maybe there is a better way to deal with these things. I don't have the answer. But in my experience, this is how I've come to terms with dealing with these situations. If I decide to be angry in the situation, I'll deal with the consequences. They'll deal with the consequences. If I decide to laugh at them for the situation, I'll deal with the consequences. They'll deal with the consequences. So it just is what it is, in my opinion. There is no way to perfectly deal with all these situations. And if you always try to deal with these situations perfectly, you're going to lower your frequency, and you're going to spend so much mental capacity that you're going to drain yourself of performing well in your own life, which is going to keep you in these situations. If you make sure to store your mental bandwidth to adequately deal with the situations in your own life, you can minimize being in these situations. But there's a fault to that too, because if you live your life a certain way, and I don't mean a certain way in a negative manner where you have a lot of chaos and stuff, because you're going to need chaos in order to grow and to do amazing things. You can't run away from the fights. If you do have a life with a lot of chaos, you're just going to have these issues, and there's no way around it. So the best thing I would say is get comfortable in the chaos. If I had to give myself advice, that's what I would say. Get comfortable with it and just be okay with accepting that certain relationships are going to go sideways. This is going to happen. These people are going to be mad. Another piece of advice I would say to myself would be to not over drastically react to it, because a lot of the times people are just emotional in the situation. But if you sit tight and deal with it amicably, you ignore it, or even if you go through any one of the three approaches that I gave that happen, if you don't over respond to it, things will sort itself out over time, because everything feels more important in the situation, in the moment that it is. Your situations where the ops are trying to get you is important, but someone being upset over a water bottle, they'll get over it. Someone upset about a trash bag, they'll get over it. Someone upset about an emoji or you didn't text them or remind them of this or some stupid ass issue, they'll get over it. But if you over respond to it and go after their entire character, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, this, that, and the third, you can make a non-issue, or you can make what they're making an issue right now, which is actually a non-issue, into a real issue. Imagine you flip somebody off at a red light because they honked at you. It was an issue because they're being aggressive towards you, honking. But what if they find you and now they really want to do something to you? You created a major problem out of a minor problem. So don't overreact or don't over respond to things that aren't real problems and make them into real problems based on trying to fix everything, because that's something I've done. That's a major problem I've had in my life. And a lot of the times I am overly optimistic about what I can do and how I can affect people, which is just impossible. I could take a D player and think that I'm so good that I could train them up or persuade them or lead them in a way that they can become a B or A player. D players are just D players, and if you try to drag people along into things, you will destroy yourself. You cannot, I guess you could call it a God complex. There's certain things that are out of your control, and if you try to put things into your control that are not within your control, the whole thing can blow. So, to all the men out there, young men, middle-aged men, however old you are, I don't know who my viewers are. These are things that I think about and I would say to myself when I'm in these chaotic situations, just sitting in the fire of despair in the life of a man dealing with these kind of issues. So keep your head up. You'll be all right.